cards. Take a chance. Win lots of dough, and you might just pee your pants. On Card Sharks! And now, here's your host of Card Sharks, Jose Cazares. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome in to another exciting edition of Card Sharks right here on Sleepy Time Studios and the MVG Network. We're so glad to have you here with us once again. Well, if you were not with us on our last show, we crowned our brand new champion who has been having incredible luck in the main game, but is having the complete opposite luck on the money cards. We'll talk about that when we introduce him in a second. He comes back to us with a season total of $4,000 and 2 wins to his credit. Let's welcome back our champion, Mark Liotta.
Pleasure to be back here.
Okay, Mark, where do I even begin, sir? I mean, you've picked up 2 wins in a row, but unfortunately, the money cards just ended up denying you not once, but twice at the very end.
Yeah. Let's not talk about that.
Well, I mean, it's one thing for unfortunately pretty much have to talk about it because it was too unfortunate to ignore. But up until that point, there was only one other person who had busted out on the money cards. And yet you became the second, not only to do it for the second time, but also the first one to do it in back-to-back installments. But hey, you know what they say? Third time's the charm. You think you have what it takes to get that long overdue revenge.
Cards, look out. You gotta go through me.
Alright, well, I wish you nothing but the best of luck as we welcome in your next challenger as you go for win number 3. Alright, he is back with us once again. He currently has $2,000 to his season credit. We welcome back Mr. Chris Chambers.
Hey, everybody.
Chris, glad to have you back with us once again.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, you've been here twice with us thus far, but have yet to get yourself a win. Do you think tonight's the night?
Yes, Jose, tonight's the night.
Well, you're up against a good champion here in Mark, but because he's had better luck here than in the money cards, so I wish you the best of luck here tonight as well.
Thank you.
Alright, with that being said, let's go ahead and get right into our game. Of course, you know the object is to make your way to the end of the board by correctly calling high-low. The first one of you to do so wins the round. It takes 2 round wins to win the match. That person becomes our champion and goes on to the money cards where they can win up to $32,000 in cash. But in order to gain control of the cards, you must first correctly answer a high-low toss-up question. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started with our first round here. First question, as always, goes to our champion. So, Mark, we're going to start with you. All right, here we go, Mark. We asked 100 people, do you speak more than one language fluently? How many said yes?
Well, I know up here we've got both Canada and French as our official languages, which means I'm pretty sure there'd be a lot of people here that would speak both of them pretty fluently. I'm gonna say 68.
Alright, he says 60 out of 100 speak more than one language fluently. Chris, higher or lower than 68?
I think it'd be just a little lower.
Says lower than that. Alright, of course, if it is lower, Chris, you will have control of the cards first. If not, it will be Mark. The actual number of people who do speak more than one language fluently is 14. It is way lower.
Wow.
Huh. Guess you'd be surprised how many. Sometimes these stats can surprise you. You never know. Alright. But Chris, you've got control of the cards first. Let's take a look at your opening base card. You start out with an ace. Now,
Well,
this is where I would say that you won the question, so you have the right to change it if you want, but I doubt you'd want to because you already said lower.
well, thank you.
So, lower than the ace. It's a 6.
No, I'm gonna go on and say higher.
Going on, higher than the 6. It's a jack.
Well,
Continuing on, lower than the jack. It's a 10.
oh boy. I'm gonna freeze.
Freezing it right there and only needing one card to take the first round of the match. And he also keeps Mark away from his cards. Alright, so already we're in a very interesting situation, but we're just getting started. That now brings us to our second question, and Chris, this one goes to you.
Okay.
Alright, listen up here, Chris. This one's a bit of a long one. We asked 100 single women, would you date a man who said he was getting a divorce, but still lived with his wife? How many women said they would date him anyway?
Well, we'll say 5. 2-5.
35, you said?
2-5.
So 25. Alright.
5.
Alright, he says 25 out of 100 would date that man. Mark, higher or lower than 25?
Divorced but still married, although I doubt either would still be married after that. Higher.
He says higher than that. Alright. The actual number of single women who would date a man who said he was getting a divorce but still live with his wife is 28. It is slightly higher. Oh, Chris was close there, but unfortunately not close enough because Mark gets control.
Okay.
All right, so now Mark, Champ, you get control for the first time, and let's see what your base card is. It's a 10.
Change it.
All right, gonna change it. That 10 goes away, and we replace it with a 7. Not much better.
Send me over a river, why don't you, game? Higher.
Higher than the 7? It's an 8.
Okay, freeze.
All right, freezing it right there. Getting himself one step closer and keeps Chris away from his cards. All right, on to our third question now, and we are back to Mark for this one. All right, this one's a little interesting, Mark. We asked 100 senior high school girls, if you could see your future, would you want to know who you will marry? How many said yes?
Definitely very interesting. So, foreshadowing? Question mark?
That's essentially it's essentially what that is.
55.
Wow.
All right, he says 55 out of 100 would want to know who they would marry. Chris, higher or lower than 55?
I think it'd be just a little higher.
Why do you think that?
I don't know.
Well, yes. Honestly, this is... Yeah, there's not really much reasoning behind this. I don't know why I asked you that, but anyways. The actual number of senior high school girls who, if they could see their future, they would want to know who they will marry is... 65. It is higher.
Well,
Again, the one giving the number answer is in the ballpark, but they were just not close enough. All right, Chris, you've got control, and you have that 10.
I buy 10.
All right, changing it, the 10 goes away, and we replace it with a king.
Oh,
For game 1 of the match and $1,000, lower than the king, it's a deuce. He's done it. All right, Chris, congratulations. You've won the first round of the match. We give you another $1,000 for winning the round, bringing you up to $3,000 for the season total. And you are now up 1-0. Win the next round, and you'll become our new champion. Of course, Mark still has an opportunity to get himself into this. Let's go ahead and get the board set up for our second round. All right, round number 2. Gonna get a new question card here. And our first question here goes to our challenger. So, Chris, this first one goes to you. Oh my gosh. Oh, we got a good one here, Chris. We asked 100 people, do you sing in the shower? How many said yes?
Well, I sing in the shower sometimes. I say 55.
55?
55,
Alright, he says 55 out of 100 do sing. Mark, higher or lower than 55?
I will spare you the pleasure of hearing my bad singing tones and guess higher.
No one even considered hearing that anyway, but I digress. The actual number of people who do sing in the shower is 45. It is not higher. I can personally vouch and say that I do it all the time. But that's because I've got a good singing voice myself.
It's a lot better than mine, that's for sure.
Yeah. Moving on. Alright, I believe it was Chris who got control. So let's see your opening base card. You have an 8.
Change it, please.
Changing it, the 8 goes away, and we replace it with a queen.
Lower, please.
Lower than the queen, it's a 5.
Higher, please.
Higher than the 5, it's an 8.
Freeze, please.
And he's freezing right there, taking the 2-card advantage and keeping Mark away from his cards, needing only 2, and Chris only needs 2 more cards to become our new champion. Alright, second question of the round now, and this one goes to our champion. So, Mark, this one is yours. Mark, we asked 100 millionaires across the country. Was your father also a millionaire? How many said yes?
Well, chance the whole family's rich if their people before them were rich. Let's go with 69.
Well, this is Mark we're talking about, so you know at some point he's going to provide that number. Alright, Chris, higher or lower than 69?
I think it'd be Lowell.
Alright, he says lower than that. The actual number of millionaires across the country whose fathers also were millionaires is 21. It is way lower.
Wow.
Yeah, not many people actually do get that privilege. Alright, Chris, you've got control once again, and you have that 8.
Change it, please.
Changing the 8, it goes away once again, and we replace it with a 5.
Higher, please.
Higher than the 5. It's a 7.
No, I'm going to go on and say higher.
Going for it to become our new champion. Higher than the 7? No, it's a 4. You'll lose both of those cards and stay where you are with the 5. Valiant effort there, but it did not work out, and that means Mark gets a free chance to play off his base card of a 3.
Higher, please, Jose.
Higher than the 3. It's a jack.
Lower, please.
Lower than the jack? No, it's a queen!
Oh!
My goodness, nobody making any progress there. Valiant efforts from the both of you. The cards decided to deny both of them. Alright, now we go on to our third question of the round, and we are back to Chris for this one. Chris, we asked 100 single women. Do zodiac signs influence your dating decisions? How many said that they do influence their dating decisions?
I'll say about 35.
35?
5, yes.
Alright, he says 35 out of 100 do have that belief. Mark, higher or lower than 35?
Higher.
He says higher than that.
People believe strange things sometimes.
Well, let's find out how strange people are. The actual number of single women who do believe that zodiac signs influence their dating decisions is 78. It is way higher. Well, people are strange, as the saying goes. All right, Mark, you got control, and you have that 3.
Higher.
Higher than the 3? It's a queen.
Lower.
Lower than the queen? It's a deuce.
Higher.
Higher than the 2? It's a 5.
Higher.
To tie up the match and pick up an extra $1,000 for sweeping the board. Higher than the 5? It's a 10. We have a tie game.
There we go.
Oh my goodness, and Mark coming from behind to take the second round. Not only do you pick up another $1,000 for winning the round, but like I said, you also pick up another $1,000 for sweeping the board without making a single mistake. So you're now up to $6,000 for your championship total. And just like that, we're going to have to go to a tiebreaker to decide a winner. Let's get the board ready for that. As you can see, gentlemen, only 3 cards to play with. And 1 question. The champion always gets the questions in the tiebreaker, so Mark, this one is yours. Mark, we asked 100 first graders, someday, would you like to get married? How many of those first graders said yes?
The question is, how many of them are even thinking of getting married at 6 years old? 50 of them.
He is pulling the middle trap card with 50. All right, Chris, higher or lower than 50?
Hope it's Lowell.
He says lower. All right. For all important control of the cards, the actual number of first graders who someday would like to get married is 57. It is not lower. All right, Mark, so the decision is going to be yours. I'm going to start by revealing both of your base cards, starting with Chris's. He has a 7, and you have a 9. Now, of course, you know that you can change the 9 should you go for it. Do you want to keep control for yourself or force Chris to play off the 7?
Chris, I hope you like 7s.
He's going to pass. All right. Chris, you've got to play off the 7 and call these next 2 cards correctly. Otherwise, Mark remains the champion.
Oh, boy. Let's go higher.
Higher than the 7? It's a 10.
Oh, boy. Hope it's Lowell.
To become the new champion. Lower than the 10. It's a 9! We have a new champion! Congratulations, Chris. You finally got yourself your first win of the season. Pick up another $1,000, and before the money cards, you have a total of $4,000. You'll be taking on the money cards in just a moment, but first we gotta say goodbye to a worthy champion in Mark. Well, Mark, I don't think anyone could have blamed you for passing control over to Chris. He had a bad card to start with, but it just ended up working out for him. But did you still have fun with us regardless?
I was hoping the third time would have been the charm of the money cards, but we're not even going to get to see that come to fruition.
Unfortunately.
I still had fun, though.
Alright, well, you're definitely not leaving out of here empty-handed. You are going to get to keep the $2,000 that you picked up in this game, along with the $4,000 that you racked up in your last 2 appearances. You leave us here on Card Sharks with a season total so far of $6,000, and we hopefully look forward to having you back on a future episode when you can get your redemption.
Alright, well...
Now, and I almost forgot, before we send you off, since the game is over now, let's play the what-if situation to find out what would have happened. So, Mark, had you decided to keep control, would you have changed the 9?
The 9 I would have changed.
Alright, so the 9 would have become a king.
Lower.
It would have been a jack.
Lower.
And you would have won. So it was set up for either one of you to win. But hey, Mark, in any case, we're definitely glad to have had you here with us. And again, there's still time in the regular season to try to add to that total.
Hopefully a much better number, particularly in the money cards.
All right, well, that is Mark Liotta, everybody, and we're going to take a quick commercial break here, but when we come back, our new champion, Chris Chambers, is going to be taking on the money cards for his first time ever to see how much money he can add to that total. We'll be right back after this here on Card Sharks. Stay with us. Welcome back to Card Sharks, everybody. We're here with our brand new champion, Chris Chambers, who finally picked himself up his first win of the season. Took him 3 appearances to do it, but he finally managed to do it. Has a total so far of $4,000 for his championship total. But now, Chris, you've got an opportunity to add a whole lot more money to that total. Ready to get started?
I'm ready.
All right, then let's go ahead and get to the money cards. All right, now, Chris, since this is your first time, here's how this works. Of course, we're going to start you off at the bottom row with $200 of betting money. You're going to call high, low across the first row there. Then we go up to the second row, give you another $400 of betting money, and you must try to correctly call high, low across that row. Minimum bets are $50 until you get to the final card at the top, the big bet, where you have to bet at least half of your money. And once per row, you can change a single card with one of the spare cards on the left side of the board.
Okay.
That being said, I wish you the best of luck. Here's your $200 of betting money to get you started. And let's get to it. Here's your opening base card. We start you off with a jack.
Robert Lowell.
All $200, lower than the jack. It's a push. You don't lose anything there.
Same bet. Robert Lowell, please.
Trying it again. All 200, lower than the jack. It's a 6. There you go. You're now up to 400 with a 6.
And just number 1, please.
All right, the 6 goes away, rather. Good Lord. And we replace it with a deuce.
Robert Heil.
Cannot lose on this one. All $400. Jesus Christ, I'm all over the place. Higher than the deuce. It's a king. You're now up to $800. However, we move that king up to the second row, give you another $400 of betting money. You have $1,200 and a king.
Robert Lowell.
He's got guts, folks. All $1,200. Lower than the king. Another push. You gotta be kidding me.
Robert Lowell.
Not gonna give up on those all-in bets. 1,200. Lower than the king. Oh, it's an ace! Are you kidding me? I don't believe... That's now the 3rd time in a row that somebody is busted on the money cards.
Ouch.
Chris, welcome to the club.
Oh my gosh.
I feel so bad.
I don't believe this. And I hate to say this, Chris, but you're now the 3rd person to bust on the money cards.
Again, welcome to the club.
This is the losing streak that I want to see broken. Good Lord. I'm sorry, Chris, but on this occasion of the money cards, you're not going to pick up any additional money at all. But what matters is you're still the champion, and you're going to be facing another challenger here as you go for win number 2. We'll be right back after this here on Card Sharks. My goodness.
Ouch.
Welcome back to Card Sharks. We're once again here with our champion Chris, who unfortunately is part of an unfortunate losing streak, as that's now the 3rd time in a row that somebody is busted on the money cards. But Chris, I gotta ask you this. I mean, you had guts going all in, but how are you feeling going into this game now, knowing that has happened to you now?
Well, upset I lost all of my money, but feels good to be the champion.
Well, hey, again, you are still the champion currently, and you ready to meet your next challengers to go for your 2nd win?
Yes, I am.
All right, we have someone who is back with us once again. He currently has and he actually had a championship with us as well, with a season total so far of $5,700 to his credit. Let's welcome back Neil Sternitsky.
Hello.
Glad to have you back with us, Neil. Again, you had the pleasure of having a championship with us here, but you only picked up one win. Do you think you're able to get the championship back for yourself?
I think so, and let's break this horrible streak we're on in the money cards.
Yes, it is long overdue. All right. You, of course, know how to play the game, so we're just going to get right into it with our first round and our first question. All right, so, champ, this first one goes to you. Here it is. Okay. All right. Chris, we spoke to 100 New York City cab drivers, or I should say, New York City cab drivers. I know, that was probably the terrible impression of that, but I don't care. Spoke to 100 New York City cab drivers, and we asked them, have you ever taken the long way around just to boost the fare? How many cab drivers admitted that they had?
Jose, I think there'll be a high number. I say, 62. 62.
All right, he says 62 out of 100 have done this. Neil, higher or lower than 62?
I'm going to say that's going to be a little lower.
All right, he says lower than that. The actual number of New York City cab drivers who have ever taken the long way around just to get the fare up is 84. It is not lower. Oh, man, a lot of those New York City cab drivers are evil.
Well, damn.
All right, so, champ, you've got control of the cards first. Let's see your opening base card. You have a 5.
I'm going to keep it and go higher, please.
All right, keeping it going higher than the 5. It's a queen.
Lower, please.
Lower than the queen. It's a king.
Ow.
Oh no! I'm sorry, Chris. You lose both of those cards and go right back to the 5, and that means Neil gets a free chance to play off his space card of a 9.
All right, let's go lower.
Lower than the 9. Oh, it's a king again. Oh man, a king denying both of our players there. All right, second question of the round, and this one goes to Neil. I love the terminology used in this question. All right, Neil, here it is. We asked 100 librarians, have you ever caught a couple canoodling in the stacks? How many librarians said that they had caught patrons fooling around?
Taking a page out of Bob Eubank's book, I see. That's ironic for this guy. Let's see. I think that's going to be kind of a low number. I mean, unless it, I'm going to say 28.
All right, he says 28 out of 100 have caught couples doing that. Chris, higher or lower than 28?
I think it'd be just a little tad higher.
All right, he says higher than that. The actual number of librarians who have ever caught a couple fooling around in the stacks is 46. It is higher. All right, Chris, you've got control once again, and you have that 5.
Want to keep and go higher, please.
Higher than the 5? It's a queen.
Oh boy. Lower, please.
Lower than the queen? It's a 4.
Higher, please.
Higher than the 4? It's an 8.
I'm gonna try and go for it. I'm gonna go higher.
Risking it on the 8. All right. To pick up the first round of the match and an extra 1,000 for sweeping the board. Just to double check, you said higher.
Yes.
Higher than an 8? It's a jack! He's done it! Oh my goodness! A risky move there, champ, playing it off on the 8 there, but it worked out in your favor. You already picked up the first round of the match.
Wow.
Very impressive. Alright, so again, you pick up 1,000 for winning the round and another 1,000 for sweeping the board without making a single mistake. So you're now up to 6,000 for your championship total. Horse Neil, again, you still have time to get yourself into this game. So let's go ahead and get the board set up here for our second round. Alright, first question of this second round goes to our challengers. So Neil, we're going to start with you for this one. Oh my god. You thought the last question was weird? Wait till you hear this one.
Oh, jeez.
Neil, we asked 100 women. Do women really go to the bathroom in groups? How many said that they do?
Oh my gosh.
To all the female viewers watching this episode, I apologize in advance.
Well, we're gonna get some honesty out of this one at the end of this question.
No kidding.
I think that's gonna be a low number. I'm gonna say 30.
Alright, he says 30 out of 100 do actually have this belief. I don't know how to word that. Chris, higher or lower than 30?
My question is, why do they do this?
Be surprised.
I think that's gonna be a lot higher.
Alright, he thinks it's a lot higher than that. Let's find out. The actual number of women who do know for a fact that women really do go to the bathroom in groups is 75. It is way higher. Huh.
We need to have a chat with your writers here.
Hey, I rest assured, I have no control over these questions. I can promise you that. Alright, so Chris, you've got control of the cards for the first time. Let's see your opening base card. You have an 8.
Change it, please.
Changing the 8, it goes away and we replace it with a 4.
Higher, please.
Higher than the 4, it's a jack.
Lower, please.
Lower than the jack, oh, it's a king again! Goodness, the king's denying our players a lot in this game. So no progress made there, and that means Neil gets a free chance to play off his base card of a 3.
Higher, please.
Higher than the 3, it's a 4.
Higher, please.
Higher than the 4, it's a 5.
Not to sound like a broken record, but higher, please.
I swear to God, if this is a 6, higher than the 5. No, it's a deuce! Just even worse than that. You lose all 3 of those cards, go back to the 3. So
You had
no,
the right number, just in the wrong order.
right? Sadly, no progress made by either player. That now brings us to our second question of this round, and this one goes to Chris. Alright, we went from a weird one to a more common one here.
Okay.
Chris, we asked 100 drivers, do you ever experience road rage? How many of those drivers admitted that they had experienced the phenomenon known as road rage?
I guess if you live in New York City, you probably will. I'll say about 55.
Alright, he says 55 out of 100 have experienced road rage. Neil, higher or lower than 55?
Well, here's a normal question. Are we sure we're in the right county right now?
It's all around the country, just so you know.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna say that's gonna be lower.
It says lower than that. Alright. The actual number of drivers who have ever experienced road rage is 72. It is not lower. More common than you thought.
Damn cab drivers.
Alright, Champ, you got control once again, and you have that 4.
Let's go higher, please.
Higher than the 4, it's a 10.
I'm gonna freeze.
Raising it right there, taking the 1 card advantage and keeping Neil away from his cards. And speaking of Neil, you get the third question of this round. Wait, Chris got the last question right. I'm just making sure. It's because all these questions have got my mind twisted, so I just want to be sure. All right. Neil, we asked 100 fifth graders. Oh, this one can be a little gross. Would you rather eat a cricket or a Brussels sprout? How many of those fifth graders said that they would rather eat a cricket?
Well, the real question here is, are you smarter than a fifth grader?
We're not playing that game, sir.
I'd like to use my copy. Oh, wait. Sorry.
You just don't get it, do you?
Would rather eat the cricket, right?
Yep, the cricket over the Brussels sprout.
That might be a little bit of a higher number. I'm going to say 67.
Alright, he says 67 out of 100 would rather eat a cricket over a Brussels sprout. Chris, higher or lower than 67?
Yeah, well, Brussels sprout. Hope it's higher.
Says even higher than that. Alright. The actual number of fifth graders who would rather eat a cricket over a Brussels sprout is 39. It is not higher. You gotta understand, they've seen what insects look like, and they, as I think 10-year-olds, they can get grossed out by that kind of stuff. Alright, so Neil, you get control of the cards for the first time, and you have that 3.
I will definitely keep that. And I will say higher.
Higher than the 3, it's a 9.
Oof. All right, let's freeze.
Alright, freezing it right there, and that puts us at a very interesting situation as we go to our 4th and final question. Can't believe we got this far without going into this one. I can't believe we've gotten this far into the episode, and we're just now having our first one of these, but it's sudden death, so somebody has to win on this next play of the cards, and the question goes to Chris. Ugh, if only James Dill were here for this one.
Oh,
Chris, we asked 100 referees. Are you more lenient on players you like? How many referees admitted that they are more lenient on their favorite players?
I would say 55.
55?
Yes, 55.
Alright, he says 55 out of 100 are lenient. Neil, higher or lower than 55?
well, I'd like to think that a lot of referees try to remain impartial, so I'm going to say it's lower.
Alright, he says lower than that. For all important control of the cards, the actual number of referees who are more lenient on players that they like is 44. It is lower. Alright, Neil, you got control, so you're going to have the decision. Chris has a 10 and you have a 9, but you can change it should you decide to go for it. Both of you need 3 cards to win. Do you want to keep control, or do you want to force Chris to play off the 10?
Chris is a good player. I think he should play this one.
You're going to pass then.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Chris. Champ, you're going to have to play off the 10 and call these next 3 cards correctly. If you make one wrong move, and we have a tie game.
Let's go lower, please.
Lower than the 10? It's a deuce.
Higher, please.
Higher than the deuce? It's a 10.
Oh boy. I hope it's lower.
To remain the champion and pick up your second win, lower than the 10? It's a 9, and he's done it again! Well done, Chris. You pick up another $1,000 for winning this round. You now have 2 wins for yourself and $7,000. And you're going to be going back to the money cards in just a moment. Neil, my friend, you gave it a valiant effort there. I don't think anyone could have blamed you for deciding to pass control there, but again, it just did not work out. You still have fun with us regardless.
Always do. And I gotta say, Chris deserves this, especially in that first game after he made that gutsy call on that 8.
Thank you, Neil. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. I mean, I got to be honest. Even I wasn't expecting him to do that, but lo and behold, that's what he did, and it worked out. But Neil, you're not leaving out of here empty-handed. We're going to give you another $500 for our house minimum for participating in this one, and your new total now is $6,200 for the season. But again, there's still time in the regular season, so we hopefully look forward to having you back.
I'll absolutely be here for it.
Take care, Neil.
All right, that is Neil Sternitsky, and when we come back, can we finally snap this losing streak on the money cards? Chris will attempt to do just that right after this here on Card Sharks. Stay with us. Welcome back to Card Sharks. We're here with our now two-time champion, Chris Chambers. Picked up another $3,000 for winning the match. So you're now up to $7,000 for your championship total. But Chris, we've gone 3 in a row with busts in the money cards. It's about time we snap that losing streak. You ready to do this?
Yes, let's do it.
All right, let's go back to the money cards. We're just going to get right into it. Let's finally end this losing streak once and for all. Here's your $200, and here's your opening base card. You have a queen.
I love it, Lowell.
All $200, lower than the queen. No, it's an ace!
Oh my gosh!
Already with a bust at the beginning, but thankfully it was on the first row. So we move that ace to the second row, give you $400 back, and on a card you definitely cannot lose on, and I bet you're glad to see that.
Yes. I love it, Lowell.
All $400 lower than the ace. It's a 3. You're up to $800 now.
You know what? After what happened last time, I'm going to go $100 higher.
100?
Yes, 100.
Alright, he's betting conservative this time around. $100 higher than the 3. It's a 5. You're up to $900 now.
I'm going to keep it and go another $100 higher.
Another conservative bet. $100 higher than the 5. It's an 8. Alright, Chris, we move that 8 up to the top row. You can change this 8 and you have $1,000. You've got to bet at least $500 on this one.
Answer is number 2, please.
Alright, an all-important change. The 8 goes away, and your new big bet card is a jack. Again, the minimum is $500.
Let's go half of it, Lowell.
Half of it lower. Alright. So you'll either have $500 or $1,500 if this next card is lower than the jack. No, it's a queen! You gotta be kidding me! But hey, Chris, what matters is the streak is over. $500 for winning this round. So when we add that to the $7,000 that you picked up so far, you're now up to $7,500. And the streak, thankfully, has been broken.
Slightly.
But once again, those cards were proving to be rude to you, especially with the bust at the very beginning. But
Oh, man.
you were still able to work your way around it. You bet conservative at the right times. $500 is what you picked up here. But you are still the champion, and we're hopefully going to be seeing you on our next show as you look to defend your title.
Thank you, Jose. I had lots of fun.
Alright, well, we will definitely be seeing you then. But folks, that's going to wrap things up here for what has been another exciting edition of Card Sharks. Thank you all so much for joining us. And until next time, when the cards come shoveling our way, and hopefully these cards can treat our players even better than they did this episode. I'm your host, Jose Casas. For all of us here at Sleepy Time Studios and the MVG Networks, we'll see you next time for more of Card Sharks. Good night, everybody.